always say seek out these intakes because trout love moving water. So we know trout are probably...
Another chunky one, yeah. Yeah. Real pretty one.
All right, ladies and gents, in today's video, we're doing things a little bit different. We're going to start off with how I ended up catching all the fish in this video, and it is a little bit unconventional and different as I found out. So if you want to get right to the fishing action, just fast forward to this time code and it'll get right into the fishing if you already know what I'm about to say. But with that, let's start off with the rod and reel I was using out there. This is a 7'6" ultralight spinning rod with a 1000 series reel. This is a katana rod. It's a custom rod designed for fishing these ultralight minnows and mini jigs. And this is a Shimano Vanquish 1000 SSSP. It's a real nice Japanese version of the Shimano reels we get out here. Really nice setup, but it's very spendy, and you can get by with other ultralight setups as long as the rod's at least 7'6" to 8 foot in length, and you have a 500 to 1000 to a 2000 series reel. Most important thing is line, though, when you're throwing these light baits. And I have spooled on here Sinister Strand premium fiber braid in 4-pound, and because the line has a colored tint to it, I use a fluorocarbon leader of Runkle Power Fluoro in 5-pound, and usually I leave about a 5-foot leader from my braid to where the leader starts down to the bait. But if you need more information, there's a link right up here to my how to fish mini jigs video. It's a complete beginner's guide, so I come from the standpoint of you have no idea what it's about and you want to get into it, and I go through everything on there as far as rods, reels you can use, line, different types of baits, and how to fish them, so make sure you check that out. Now let's go to the bench and I'll show you the baits that we're working out there and how I rig them up. Alright guys, I'm going to show you the baits that you'll see eventually working out there. The first one that I was having success with was this Spartan Minnow. This is called Purple Platinum. I just think it's really cool looking, and it works real good up there in the Sierras. I don't know if some of the rainbows have a shade of purple in them, so maybe to them in the certain light it does look like a rainbow trout. That could be why they like it, but I fished this one up at Little Virginia. Obviously it's silver, and a lot of the other lakes, and always have good success with it. And the jig that Esteban has been killing it on up there lately is this one. It's a Ghost Shrimp, a little bit newer, but it's a white, shiny mini jig, and the fish just seem to love it, especially early morning hours. Really any time of the day, but typically we want to go with a light color in the morning wherever you are. So this is an excellent choice. And I'll show you the weights that we're using up there, especially if you don't fish mini jigs or minnows typically, because there's different types of weights. And you have these two types, these ball heads and these tube jig weights. And the tube jig weights are designed to go inside these mini jig tubes, and the ball heads are meant to hook on to these Spartan minnows, so the hook sticks out and the ball is exposed. Now the bigger ones are the 1/16, and those are typically what we use up in the Eastern Sierra because of the deeper water conditions, and lots of times, like in this video, we're going to be fishing in some current. So the 16ths typically work better and can get down to where the fish are better than these 32nds. These 32nds, you can also use them up in the Sierras, but typically we use these in shallower water, like stuff that we have down here in Southern California, or when there's light wind and it's not too bad. Then you can get away with throwing these ultra light 32nds and not use the 16ths. Now I'll show you how you rig each of these up real quick. On a tube jig, you take the tube weight, and I like to take the eye of the hook and start at the skirt end and slowly slide it in there real carefully, then use my thumb and you pop out the eye of the hook and it sits just like that. And these minnows, I like to look at the anatomy of the minnow. So the straight part's going to be the spine or the back, and the rounded part's going to be the fish's belly. So I want my hook point to come out the back. So I start at what would be the nose of the minnow and carefully slide that minnow on just towards going around the bend of the hook, and then I carefully put the tip of the hook right out the middle of the spine, and it ends up looking just like that. So it's mostly straight as possible, and that's all there is to it. All right, now let me set the scene for you and show you exactly how we were getting onto these fish, because it wasn't easy. We're fishing an intake out at Silver Lake up in the Eastern Sierra, and typically if you watch the videos, I always say seek out these intakes because trout love moving water. So we know trout are probably there. Sometimes they're not, but usually they are. And what has happened is with erosion from that intake being there, it's caused a drop off. And so you can see us wading here, but we're not very deep at all. But right in front of us, it drops almost straight down about 5 or 6 feet. And we suspect that the trout are under there, under the current, because the trout will not swim in direct current the whole time because they don't want to work the whole time. They want it nice and easy. They just want to rest down there at the bottom and wait for stuff to float down that current, and then they'll come up off the bottom and take swipes at it. So that's where we come in with the mini jigs and minnows. We're trying to give them an easy meal and make it look like it's come out of that current, so it looks as natural as possible, right? So what Este's doing is he's using a 16th ounce mini jig, which is typically what we'll use up there. If you watch the videos, I always suggest a 16th because if you're fishing current or the water's typically deeper in the Eastern Sierra, it's much easier to get a 16th ounce mini jig down to where the fish are than it is a 32nd. So as you can see here, what he's doing is casting out and letting his mini jig go all the way to the bottom, and when he brings it in, you see his rod tip is down. And the reason for that is because with the current and everything, the current's coming through and your line is going down like this. As it hits your line, it's going to put resistance on it and slowly bring that jig up into the current where the fish aren't. The fish are down here. So we want to keep our jig or our bait as close to the bottom where the fish are as possible, so you have a better chance of getting a bite, right? So he's keeping his rod tip down and retrieving very, very slow to get the most chances of a fish seeing his presentation, right? So I was trying this initially with the 16th because typically that's what works best. But I wasn't getting anything. Esty was catching some, but I wasn't. So I knew the fish were there. I knew they were biting, but for whatever reason, they weren't enjoying my presentation. And it could be as simple as the current was a little bit different on my side of the intake than it was on his, so it required a different presentation. So I got out and went back to my tackle bag, and I got a 32nd ounce ball head and put a minnow on. And I learned this a season or two ago out at Lundy Lake, where I was fishing an intake, and the water was really ripping. I think it was right after we had all those rains and all that snow. And I was using the 16th, not getting much, and I was sure there was fish in the area. So I put a 32nd ounce minnow on and threw it out there. And as you can see in this clip, I just started raising and lowering my rod tip without even reeling, so that that jig or that minnow is going to come up into the current and then just drop straight down. And I'm hoping that a fish that's at the bottom there under that current is going to see it and take a swipe at it. And sure as anything, that's what happened.
Dude, I was totally doing I was lifting it way up and letting it go slack in the current. Right on. Oh yeah, that's a hell of a fish right there.
And I ended up sticking that real nice toad out there in Lundy. But that's a rare instance. That was a one-off. It worked that time, but it wasn't something that was ultimately successful the rest of that trip. So we're out here at Silver, and I'm not getting much on the 16th, so I decided to try the 32nd. So what I did was cast it out, let it sink to the bottom, reeled it in a little bit, and then all I'm doing is raising my rod tip slowly and letting it go down and just giving it a half crank to get some slack in. And just raising it up and letting it go down, and all of a sudden I got one. And then after that, I got another and another, and it started working out very, very well, as you'll see in the rest of this video. So let's get out there and see how it all shook out.
Decided he didn't like his right arm. I have to go out and get a cane pole.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. It's like a good 2-pounder.
Yeah. Sit on fighting it.
Yep.
Unhooked it right there. I'm going there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a real good fish.
Right?
That was awesome. Nice size one too. Oh, good release. That purple platinum. Good fighter at least.
Oh, he's like 2 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, he's a nice.
Here's a really red color going outside of him.
Likes that purple.
Ever caught a fish? Oh,
Yeah. That's never gonna die.
There's a guy in the bush over there. I don't know.
Yeah. Red team go.
Red team go. Red team go. Oh, yeah, he's a good one, dude.
Yeah.
That's Minnow.
Yeah, it's a net-worthy one. Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah, he's a good one, dude.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. He's 3 pounds.
See if he's done. Nope.
Current.
Yeah.
Maybe a pain in the ass. There you go.
Come here. Ah, I got him. Oh, he's got another line.
Yep.
Yeah, real pretty one.
He is really pretty. Look at that, guys.
The skin matches the minnow. Come here, dummy. There we go. There you go, buddy.
Alright. Better off than we were.
Might be. Not for a minute.
Chunky bro.
Another chunky one. Yeah. Hey, hit it on the pause, right in the current. Came up and snagged it. Oh yeah. Thank you, sir. I had to get one of those backpacks, dude.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Nice. You can have to walk over there and get it.
Right. Yeah. Real pretty one.
All right, well, there you have it, guys. Good times out at Silver. Really love that lake. I think it's one of the prettiest lakes up in the Eastern Sierra. Great views, and typically the fishing's real good. But on this day, we were only out there for probably about an hour. It was real windy. We got blown off the water up at Mammoth Lakes. We were trying to fish up there, but it was just too dang windy. And then it was real windy at Silver, as you could hear probably in some of the audio of the clips. But we hadn't fished much all day, so we were camping there and decided to go out there and give it a try. And we ended up having success. But biggest takeaway, just kind of like in the last video, is think outside the box. Just because it seems like a hard and fast rule to use, if you're going to fish jigs or minnows out there, use a 16-ounce weight. And that's true, except in certain circumstances, you know. SD was doing great with the 16. I wasn't, so I switched it up, and then I started catching fish. So just because one of your partners is catching them a certain way, maybe you switch to something else and maybe you'll have success. You know, it just depends. Everybody's different. Maybe it's just the style of fishing that he does as opposed to the style I do was the difference. I don't know. But I got on some fish. He got on some fish. So just be willing to try different things and learn different techniques, and you'll end up having a lot more success when you go out on these outings. So with that, if you want any of the fine products I use on this channel, there's a QR code right up here. If you like any of the Golden State Fishing custom baits, the Katana rods, the TRUDAVE or high sea waders or boots, or the WaterLand sunglasses, if you click on this QR code, it will take you to a link tree with all the hyperlinks and discount codes and how to use them, as well as this video's description has all the hyperlinks and discount codes listed, and with everything that's listed on there, you can get up to 15% off you make a purchase. So definitely go check that stuff out. And as always, if you liked what you saw here, leave me a like and a subscribe. Really appreciate it. If you didn't, I appreciate you watching. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I do get back to everybody. I do read all the comments. Sometimes it's not right away, but I definitely will get back to you, pending on my family duties and all those things. But I will get back to you and answer your questions if you have them. I actually enjoy it, and I enjoy doing this. Coming up next week, we got the Caples Lake video. Beautiful lake in the, I believe it's in the Eastern Sierra. If not, it's just outside of the Eastern Sierra. It's just below Lake Tahoe. And we got into a bunch of fish. I caught them on bobber and minnow. I caught them on mini jigs, caught them on minnows. We did some vertical jigging for big browns and Mackinac. Awesome place. And the video It is really, really cool looking. Just as far as the water's crystal clear and all those things. Really great place to fish. So hope to see you on that one. And I hope to see you guys out there in tight lines.